Hello, everyone. My name is Gabriella, and I am the founder and CEO of Womp. And I'm really excited to be showing you guys Womp and what Womp does and how Womp is inspired by demo scene technology. And hopefully, you guys will find what we've built interesting. And I'll start with a short, hopefully not boring presentation about why I built Womp and basically how it came to be and why we built it really and sort of what we went through. So I am a painter turned entrepreneur, which is a kind of strange combination of things. And I met Michael, who's known as Abductee in the demo scene. He's a part of the Mercury uh, demo scene group. And I think the meeting of both of us is really the core of this product. My background, as I said, was a painting, doing paintings and printmaking, and I did some very strange and disturbing paintings, which didn't have great success necessarily in the art world in New York City. And then I got into 3D, and not just any kind of 3D, but generative and parametric 3D, so visual scripting. I didn't think that I was smart enough to do 3D. And then somebody taught me how to 3D, and then I took off. I was obsessed with visual scripting. I was obsessed with the idea of really fluid 3D that was easy to use, but I found that the solutions that were out there were really difficult and just not the right fit for the everyday person trying to get into 3D. So the pain points of getting into 3D were brutal. And yeah, I got into 3D printing, I got into 3D scanning, and I was really fascinated by the idea of sharing 3D content on the web. And Sketchfab, products like Sketchfab were interesting to me, but they were kind of missing a playful social aspect to them. So I quickly decided that I needed to basically build something that would be more representative of sort of what I think this slide is like a good demonstration of like the combination of things that I would like to achieve. And when I see some of the work achieved in the demo scene, it's kind of uh, an exciting, I don't know, inspiring uh, content creation group of people that I would be very excited to use Womp and to see what you guys think. So anyway, this is my roots in why I built Womp. Is I don't want to have to be building things in Grasshopper or trying to teach people who also want to do 3D Grasshopper in order to make what I would like to think of as fluid files. And so I did build a prototype called Womp, and it was built on 3JS. Thank you, Mr. Doob. It was built on WebGL and 3JS combined. It was live collaborative. It was raster rendering, of course. We did some ray tracing as well, but it wasn't great on the browser, as you guys all know. It was mesh based. It was BREP based as well. So anybody who's into like solids modeling, BREP based as well, and it was parametric. But the graphics were cartoony, which can be cute, but wasn't good enough for what people wanted. It was slow and heavy for parametric files. So anybody who's used Grasshopper or doesn't have a great computer, that parametric files really are not going to be they're not going to be the full power that they are if they are based on this kind of technology. And it was overheating max. And the reason this is important specifically is because I built this for the everyday person. And the everyday person who really wants to get into 3D, and as of course we know NFTs, dun dun dun, everybody wants to create an NFT, they have a Mac. So really, I feel like we didn't succeed at true 3D democratization. And I was like kind of feeling like defeated and thinking like I haven't really broken these barriers, especially reusing technology that already existed, like 3JS and WebGL. Even though it's incredible technology, I felt like I hadn't built a solution that was truly revolutionary to democratize 3D. Meanwhile, Mr. Michael Sanger, Abductee, was creating incredible um, graphics in the demo scene, the Mercury demo scene. And you guys must know his work, I'm assuming. Really impressed by this work. And it was while I was looking for somebody who would help me build this new engine that somebody introduced me to Michael. Actually, Coop introduced me to Michael, so I was really excited to meet Michael. And so now together, and together along with the rest of my team, not just Michael and I, but we've built a Womp, which is basically a new approach to 3D modeling on the browser. And the idea really is that if we can't get the best out of the browser just yet, why don't we just stream down something from the server. Now, even though that sounds absolutely crazy, and I'm sure everybody's like, you're going to break the bank doing this, we decided that we were going to try to build a server-based 3D creation platform that would allow anybody to easily create beautiful graphics directly from the browser. And no need to have a great computer, no need to have an amazing, amazing graphics card. We'll give you that Nvidia directly streamed down to your browser, to your iPad, to your phone in the future, and signed to distance fields, live sphere trace signed to distance fields will be completely at your disposition to create things. And so right now, I guess if anybody has any suggestions on what I should make, I'll make something live, anything at all. So yeah, I'll talk a little bit about the technology. This is written CUDA. Michael Sanger is an incredible, obviously, engineer. So he's built something very memory efficient, and we've built something that is basically extremely powerful, but also extremely user friendly, or at least that's our goal right now. Yeah, if anybody has any suggestions, I'll just make a little character. One thing I showed Grasshopper earlier. One thing that's really important for us at Womp is to empower anybody to create parametric files. So visual scripting and creating something beautiful that can be interactive on the web, and also parametric for people to be able to use and edit and like reuse a file. So if I go to the main page on Womp, I can take somebody else's file, I can edit it because, for layman's terms, it's a fluid file. I can I can hear some German in my headphones. I'm not sure what's going. I'll just. So, yeah, I could hear somebody speaking to me in German on my headphones. I'll keep going. I can do it. So yeah, I'll make a weird character here. There's a man and a woman speaking German to me. I'll pretend it's some good music. I'll make a strange character. So one thing that's important to us is to find more folks who want to create tools for 3D creation that are closer to what the demo scene is, right? Collaboration, being able to create something that's beautiful and stunning with little memory, with little effort, and basically make incredible work for the sake of creating beautiful work and for the sake of making amazing things without necessarily it being about, NFTs, the blockchain, or like making money. So we know that that's a big thing right now, and we appreciate anybody who's really dedicated to that space. But we're not just another little startup that's looking to make money off of the NFT craze. I've been working on this problem for like at least the last 6 years and really want to build a powerful tool that enables my grandma to make something. My grandmother would probably make like a rosary or something, but that's kind of what I would like the world to be able to 3D model, and not just for visuals and beautiful visuals, but for 3D printing, for manufacturing. What if we could, any of us, without needing to really know about GLSL or being, well, obviously everybody here does, but without really having to know how to code or how to 3D model or be an amazing artist, if we can create things easily, and those files would be fluid. So if a Thingiverse could have fluid files that I can then access and edit easily to make it exactly what I want, then I think that the democratization of 3D can be so much more powerful than just, blockchain art or just visuals, even though obviously media work is incredibly important today for many reasons. But we could revolutionize manufacturing, and we could revolutionize the ease of in which and who creates content that goes out to the world. As I mentioned, it is a collaborative tool, so anybody can live collaborate on the tool as well. That's not live on this version just yet. And some other fun things we've done is we've been able to create a non-linear or like non-list based 3D modeling. So tree based is not live on this one as well, but it's something that we are about to release on our new beta. And we are also working really hard to make this something that can have really strong visual scripting around it, as well as actual scripting, so that people can create, anything with this engine. And it's kind of an open-ended engine for people to build plugins and stuff like that on. I just wanted to show really quick some of the 3D prints, or like a 3D print that I made with Womp, which I'm really proud of. I made this in like 10 minutes, and then I just loved the gradients and the colors, and I did a full color 3D printing with the HP 3D printer. If you guys aren't familiar, Hewlett Packard came out with a full color 3D printer that nobody uses. So I hope that Womp can be a huge partner to 3D printers all over the world who have incredible technology and are not being used for incredible things. And then the other thing I just wanted to mention is that we have also incorporating a whole workflow that has to do with meshes, with work that already exists. So being able to import in meshes, scans, anything like that. Michael has done an incredible job creating these into fields. And obviously being able to sculpt on them, not just with stamps tools, but we are working on the actual deformation of the signed distance field and materials, material rendering, volumetric materials. Obviously, procedural materials is something that's, we have a lot of work to do. That this is just the beginning. We have a lot of work to do to basically make the demo scene part of a tool that anybody can use, and more importantly, can be used by any piece of hardware that can stream Netflix and can stream Womp and be usable by anybody. And part of the reason we were really excited to come to Revision and talk to everybody is that we are looking to expand our team with um, really talented folks who have roots in the demo scene. Obviously, this tool's like mission is very aligned with what the demo scene represents. So we're looking for everybody from like front end engineers, senior graphics engineers, anybody who loves CUDA, anybody who loves Linux, anybody who likes streaming stuff. Uh, we are your home. That's all we do all day. And I also want to offer everybody here an opportunity to be part of our early beta. So if you guys are interested, you can always DM me on Discord. I'm in your Revision Discord now, or you can send me an email at gabby@womp.xyz. I think I have an email up here, info@womp.xyz or gabby@womp.xyz, and we'd love to chat, even if it's just to test out the product, or if you guys want to talk about potential opportunities. We're fully remote, and we are kind of the weird, cool team that of outsiders. We're not your typical Silicon Valley startup by any means. By any means. So yeah, if anybody has any questions or comments, for good or for worse, let me know, please. And I'll make some weird stuff here, and that's it. And yeah, please do feel free to message me if you guys are interested in a early access to our platform, because we've basically just built this in the last about 7 months. So this is really Michael Sanger's incredible work of building something in 7 months. And we are looking for people to test it out, tell us what they think, and to build incredible work. I'll show you some other work that we've done on. But yeah, if anybody has any questions, let me know. I made a self-portrait, which is a little strange, but I'm really, really, uh, I'm really excited about this self-portrait because I think that it represents my inner self. Uh, as you can see, part of the interesting part about Womp is the potential for generative grasshopper-like creation using primitives, using flows that have to do with 2D flows, 3D flows, and obviously being able to bring in meshes, scans, and other third or pre-existing content, and using that to build upon and create configurators or create incredible renders or animations directly from your browser. Yeah. And I would love to hear any, I would also love to hear any skeptical feedback on what we've built. And yeah, I'm sure Abdicti would love to also, yeah, fight you on that. So just let us know. And yeah, if anybody wants to kick me off the stage, you're welcome to. I know I'm showing very disturbing content at the moment. Yep. Thanks, guys. And also, I hope that this was interesting. Sorry for mentioning NFTs so much. It actually was my intention to do the quite the opposite, which is to say that I think that content creation doesn't just have to do with that. And I think we get associated with that quite often and actually taking a strong stance. And according to other people, losing millions for not being associated with NFTs. But I think that that's the goal here. Yeah. Yeah. CUDA, NFTs, Linux, cloud-based rendering. Yes. Yes, it does run on Firefox and Safari, but we're really focused on Chrome right now. It's just like kind of focused on one single thing. At the moment, getting that right and then expanding. Yeah, uh, yes, someone's asking if we are a rendering tool. No, we're not a rendering tool. We are a creation tool that also renders at the same time. I suppose it's not a really common thing to see like rendering and creation at the same time, but we've combined both into a workflow that is, I like to call it what you see is what you see is what you get. Basically, no need to have this kind of gray workflow that then you render out, sort of like Blender or uh, Maya or any of these other pieces of software, but rather something that is like just any renders you see are actually, or like anything you see is a live render as opposed to something um, that is rendered out. So interactive path traced content that can be interactive on the web would be something that describe WOMP well. Build it, share it, and let people interact with it or re-edit it without having to reopen it in another piece of program or anything like that. And I think that the association with Blender is accurate. Yes, I thought Hellmoon is it is kind of a Blender on the browser, but what makes Swamp special obviously is it's volumetric, sign distance field based, right? It's not based on meshes or breps, it's based on sign distance field. So you have all the fluidity and the kind of flexible workflow that sign distance fields offer you. And with Blender, if I create something, I can share it online and then somebody else has to have Blender and open it up in Blender to use it. What if I could share this file and then anybody can easily edit it without having to download or open Blender or have Blender or try to explode. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Theremo. It is like Dreams. It's like Dreams on browser. Yep, it's like Dreams. I think the future of WOMP will be about interactive content, potentially, even things uh, like like the gamification content. Um, it's really open-ended, actually, especially when we bring in like the scripting. I mean, what can't you build with it? We also have a lot of really uh, we have huge ambitions with the actual rendering of it, right? So live, uh, subsurface scattering and being able to do procedural materials really well, being able to do volumetric smoke or anything like that. So yeah, yeah, it was supposed. It's uh, it's enjoying itself for the awards from the demo scene party. Let me see what else I can show you guys. But yeah, I think womb. I like this. Is it because I'm a woman that womb? A lot of people call it womb. I appreciate it. Sure, it's a womb of creativity. Uh, there's no NFTs. Yeah, so the final goal for WOMP is to be an engine that our new generations use to create content. Like I said before, like what if you didn't have to use Blender to create incredible content? What if you had the flexibility of sign distance fields, but on the browser to create all kinds of content, manufacturing, rendering, whatever. Um, Do you have any pre-rendering or is it all on demand? How do you plan to cope with compute costs of large number of clients all accessing your content? That's a great question. So we've worked really hard, something sort of revolutionary in terms of like the streaming and the sharing of a streamer. So we will offer this for people. We said it is scalable in terms of, and then if you want to render a whole movie on Womp, we will. We obviously have subscription will allow you basically pay for edible 4K or like high resolution rendering, video and things like that. So we also are obviously um, high resolution rendering for free. But if you want to like subscribe and get a really good render, thanks, Paolo. Oh, getting some more German in my ear. What can it export? It can basically export anything from like STL, OBJ, PLY. I have dreams for BREP export as well. Yeah, it can basically export anything. My goal is that anybody who's Swamp idea that they're using time distance fields, they don't need to know that they're using time distance fields. They can either import something that is an STL or a mesh or anything that isn't uh, yeah, that isn't a signed distance field, and then it will become volumetric, and then you can edit it and have it be fluid without having to rebuild it or like write it all out. Um, how could one use a model made with Womp? Is there a player renderer with JS API? Can you show us all primitives? Yeah. Okay, so the primitives that you can use right now are three primitives that you can use on Womp. There's a sphere, a cylinder, and a cube. That's it. Those are the three that you can use to make stuff at the moment. That's like that's my flex. Like uh, as I suppose these are just a sphere, cylinder, and then want to we're going to have a do with SVGs so that you can extrude and obviously also, but at the moment the primitives that we're using are three. So I guess I want my flex on like the things I make with those guys. Um, and yes, the bunny with I guess it's like alien bunny. Um, and I think I'm missing a question. No need for any kind of JS API or anything. This is streamed down in CUDA. So I'm basically using CUDA or like a full engine directly on the browser through a streamer. Instead of having to actually load it, I'm just using it through the streamer, accessing that graphics card directly from my computer, from my browser, excuse me. Yeah. And I think my audio is shit. Somebody said something to me about this. Um, Shit, sorry, my sound is skipping, guys. For Womp, do you have examples of other styles of models capable of being besides? I think I showed a really creepy face of myself a little bit ago. Let me see, what do I have that isn't cartoony? I think a lot of people have been making really cartoony stuff because the goopiness of the signed distance fields make it often interesting. But I would really love to see what folks in the demo scene, for example, would make with Womp, like buildings or landscapes or things that are more realistic than what we've built so far. But it's also because we are also working on our rendering being more sophisticated than it is at the moment. And let me see. Yeah, it's showing my my weird self-portrait. And for anybody who's familiar with product design, I think product design is traditionally very difficult to do with the type of 3D modeling that is traditional, SolidWorks, whatever. The flows to get soft curves or to get goopy curves is more difficult than expected, and I think that Womp would allow people to easily prototype or create or to experiment with creating amazing product design without needing to know like CATIA or like yeah, SolidWorks. I'm trying to find something that's not cartoony, but I don't think we've made anything. Oh, I guess I have my little egg scene is a pretty cartoony scene. And of course, as you guys know, the files are very small in size because they're, based on uh, a primitive list of things. And yes, why should we use Womp instead of 3D Studio? I mean, do you enjoy working with 3D Studio? I think for me, anybody who loves using Blender or 3ds Max or anything like that is a hard, I'll have a hard reason to convince you to use Womp. But if you can imagine a family member who is not very technically inclined and they want to make something, then Womp is the solution. 3ds Max is polygon based, right? So it's a surface-based modeling. So you could use 3ds Max and then import something into Womp if you want to share it with somebody else that can edit it or wants to play with it. But I think that 3ds Max is a difficult workflow for most people. And those who love it really, really love it. Same thing with Blender. Those who love Blender are obsessed with Blender. I don't think they'll ever want to use anything else. But there's a lot of people who try to make a donut on the weekends and really have failed for the last 10 years. And everybody's tried Blender and put it away at some point. So those are my people that would love to get on Womp. How do you monetize Womp? At the moment, it's completely free. Well, at the moment, it's like pre-release. The way we would monetize Womp is when people want to use it commercially. So if somebody wants to make money using Womp, so for example, you want to embed this into, I don't know what's wrong with my internet or something, it's not really connecting, but if somebody wants to use Womp to sell a shoe on their website, or they want to use Womp with like 20 people at the same time as a business, then we would ask for business subscriptions. We also monetize Womp through the fact that if you want to make a gigantic 8K render or a gigantic file that goes beyond our limits of memory that we give each user, then we would charge users for that. Does it take inputs such as OSC or MIDI? I'm not sure actually. That's yeah, I'm not sure what that is, but we can ask. Maybe if Abductee is around, he can explain. If he's in the, I don't know, he better be. Um, yeah. Everybody's tried the donut and failed. I guess it would be a great demo to make the donut really fast. I'll do that next time. I think the idea of being able to uh, I also think for people who currently use Blender or use, you know, Maya or Rhino or anything, um, wouldn't it be great to be able to just model from your laptop or from your iPad without having to have this crazy program installed? And what if you could live stream stupid things that you're making instead of it being this kind of solitary experience? Yep. And I like your non-business, non-NFT, and non-startup mindset. I hope that's not sarcastic. I am somebody who always thought that I was too stupid to be technical and make things that were uh, good looking or like to even do 3D at all. And I think I want for other people who feel that way. So I don't think my goals here are just purely like necessarily misaligned with what I think the world needs, which is uh, more interesting people making great stuff, not just the same folks who are, making things that we consume. But what if everybody could actually make really good content? And also, we need more software built by outsiders, and we need more software built by people uh, who didn't think that they could be technical or could make something amazing. Because a lot of great creative ideas and software can be out there. And this is my contribution to the world of like making 3D easier for people to create. Yeah. Oh, okay. Thanks, Omega X86. Yeah. There we go. I have a stream on mute. Just listen to. I think that's funny that you ask if Womp has a dark mode. Yeah, I think we've been out of it, and it will be something that we'll eventually have to uh, give people because we get asked it so much. But at the moment, no, it does not. I think we're just super focused on it being light mode, uh, and just getting this one to be, yeah, getting this one to be as good as it can be, as it is. Yeah, that's it. I think I haven't made anything too interesting here, but if anybody has any suggestions of what I can make, and I'm happy to do that. But also, if you guys have technical questions, I think Abdikti is on the Discord, so I'm sure he can answer questions that are technical or. But thanks everybody. It's a hard act to follow after all those amazing demos and those amazing awards, but I do appreciate, and please feel free to reach out to me. Internet is kind of failing me right now, so give up on my demo. But yeah, thank you, thanks everybody here, and I appreciate. I can't wait to hear from anybody who's interested in what we built. And with that, I'll drop the stream. Thanks, guys.